Alley-oop, how about it? No one falls down. No way. Massive block there. Huge block. Oh, that's epic. Taylor, big play from the Taylor just then. Somehow, pulls up the way. They get it. How about that? Wow.
I'll have a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express. With award-winning Coles Urban coffee culture from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
3 of his own. Really
Yeah.
frustrated after a tough game last night. Really knows he can do a lot better and annoyed with himself, but manages to start this game off on fire as a poor pass there by Pantelis and his Sapper who gives it off. Great containing D by Torrey Smith-Milner.
Excellent.
Pulls down
Excellent
the
D.
board as well.
Excellent D there. That's what all coaches, Coach Carter, be after. He just wants to see really strong D so he gets to the rack.
Strong take to the ring there for Torrey Smith-Milner.
That's off the left hand too, Tohi. Big, strong man. The Miners are going to find it really tough to stop him. They'll obviously have a plan for him as well because there's the big name that comes from the Southeast boys. They'll have a plan to somehow to stop him. But look at his wingspan too. For a big man, it's like his knuckles are dragging along the court. That's how bloody long his arms are. It's fantastic to see. It's going to be awesome to watch.
205 centimetres, 112 kegs as well. Not a small man.
Imagine that landing on you. Ooh.
Here's Gunawardena. Inside to Pantelis. Spin cycle, left hand finish. These Sabres are up and about to start this game.
I really like that. Tohi, good defence there. Knocked the ball away. But I really like that. Spin moves. Don't see them enough. They're fantastic to watch. But what it takes is a good team to clear the space and stay out wide and give them plenty of room to go to work. And on that occasion, Pantelis went right to work. Put him it was almost a Hakeem Olajuwon, what do they call it? The dream shake. Spin move back to the basket. Love watching that stuff. Don't know about the haircut though. That's a 90s style haircut for mine.
Are you gonna go and tell him that he needs to change his haircut?
I won't. I reckon I was running one of those in the 90s. It was all the rage. But hey, it is the day and the age of the really bad haircut. I know, especially in football. In Aussie rules football, they love that terrible mullet. Have you seen that?
We've got Pantelis rocking the headband.
Don't mind a headband.
We've got a couple of the eraser hair, as I like to call it. It's Chris with one of those haircuts, not managing to pull that one down. And this Sabres team playing with a lot of energy and a lot of confidence. And when you think of confidence for the Sabres, you definitely think of Gabsh. Here's Simos, loses it and gets it back. Shot clock ticks down to 5. There's Torhi. 2 short on that 3. Sabres with a 1-point advantage, 9-8. We play 3.5 minutes here in the first quarter. Here's Crisp. He's very quick. What a pass, and then from behind, Nick Gabsh.
Yep. Well done, young fella, coming off from behind. A lot of courage there to smack it away from a big man. All ball. Could have easily given away a foul, but that's good defence. That's switched on.
Campbell Blogg checking in for his first minutes, and you were telling me a bit about Campbell Blogg.
Yes.
You like what you see out of the young fella?
I've been watching him a lot in the under-21s. He's been fantastic in the youth league. Fantastic player. Just a good wingspan. Talented young fella.
Crisp no good, but chases it down. Then the left hand's no good. Here's Blogg pulling down the board. Running the lane should have been rewarded probably. Torhi hits the deck, a bit of knee-on-knee contact, and that one stings.
It does. Campbell Blogg, you talk about wingspan, and it's said a lot in basketball, obviously very important, but what it does, and Campbell's got a huge wingspan, long, spindly arms, but they're what they call, in football, we use the word a lot, anarchy. They kick forward, sometimes it's an anarchy ball. It creates a mess for the, especially in defence, just getting those fingers in there, getting those arms in there, and again, on rebounds, he's fantastic. We know that, but I like him as a player. I like the way he goes about it. I like his energy, and he's got a lot of basketball ahead of him. He's very young.
Here's Torhi. No good there. Big rebound, not controlled. Loose ball. Who comes up with it? It's Sapwell. Lobs it up. No good. Waits for the defence. Great job there by Pozoglu. His first 2 points of the afternoon.
So he really should have put that one in. It was an easy 2. It's a 4-point turnaround, that one, isn't it? That hurts.
Here's Simos.
Ooh.
Tries to take on Preston Punji. No good. Here's Pozoglu. Great D. Read it well. Didn't quite get in the right position.
Yeah. You've got to give him a for effort. He was trying to draw that offensive foul. Just a little bit too slow to get to position. feet were still moving. Running the pink shoes this afternoon. The old pink Nikes, not too bad. A couple of Leary boots out there. We've got some purple ones, some aqua ones. What happened to the stock standard black and white? I don't know.
No, can't have it.
No.
That's too boring.
Too boring.
Make a statement. We're making a statement with the hair. We're making a statement with the shoes.
I've got a young kid in the Sabres rep team that wears the SpongeBob square
I
pants.
love those Kyries.
Aren't they great?
Too strong there for Chris, but he's no good, and he's frustrated with himself. Kick ahead pass. Simos didn't realise how much space he actually had in the end.
Yeah.
Here's Tom Coppins, his first minutes for the game. Lovely pass inside to Torhi. Plenty of contact, and he'll go to the line. Great play by the two bigs.
Yeah, great isolation to get Tohi down low at the basket. You've got a big man that goes up like that. You've got to do all you can to stop him. And he's got big levers as well, don't you worry about that. A lot stronger than a lot of guys out there, given his age. But he goes up, draws the foul every time. He'll knock down these two. He's a quality player. And tell you what, if it's going to be hard for the Sabres this afternoon, thank God for this guy, because you've got some real experience in there, don't you? And a bloke like Campbell Blogg would just love playing around him.
Well, chatting to stand-in assistant coach Nathan Croswell, one thing he's really excited for with this team is the fact that these youngsters really get the chance. They get a chance to they're thrown straight in the deep end, and you don't have a chance to be nervous to kind of feel it out. You just have to go out there and figure it out on the fly. And playing alongside guys like Torhi, and then not on the floor at the moment, but in training with the experience of, lovely move there by Torhi, with
100%.
the experience of guys like Dave Barlow who were at training, Shea Ely and David Okwira and these guys that are coming back into this team in the next few weeks. That's a lovely move. Plenty of contact after the shot, but it's not called.
That could have been a foul, and it would have gone on the line for three. Fortunately for the Sabres, it wasn't called, but you're 100% spot on. It is about little wins today, and the opportunity to play basketball is what it's all about, as Campbell Blogg pulls up for the three and drains it.
Confident look there
Absolutely.
for Campbell Blogg.
Yeah.
And later on in the season, when these NBL guys come back, and unfortunately some of these youngsters aren't going to be getting minutes here, and they will drop back down to playing in the youth league competition, the amount of confidence that these guys are going to have playing against kids their own age.
Yep.
Lovely pass by Tyrone, and Torhi hits the three and keeps the arm up there, and a timeout needing to be called. 3:41 left in the first quarter. The Sabres with a 9-point advantage, 19-10.
Well, this isn't playing to script early in the first. Very early days, I know. But we expected the Miners to be really settled. But they look the team that has travelled, absolutely. They look like the team that is the one that has all the young kids in it and the unset apple cart. But no, the Sabres looking really strong. I mean, Tohi's been amazing. He's a couple of drives there have been really strong, really imposing. One that he would have got in driving from the split line right across to the other seam and finishing with the left. Yeah, no, it's been fantastic, and I'm sure Coach Carter would be saying, well done, boys. I like the way you're going about it. Defense has been okay.
Well, one thing that someone like Reece Carter, he's never been one to lack confidence on the court as a player. We saw him here in the 2019 season, his farewell from professional basketball.
Yep.
But if nothing else, he's instilling so much confidence in this team, and they know that this is just a bit of a run, and Ballarat know that they don't look at all nervous here. These guys have been there, they've done that. They're just weathering the storm, and as the game progresses on and fatigue starts to kick in and, you know, experience takes over from, for lack of a better term, youthful naivety.
Yep.
But Reece and the coaching staff are really going to be just saying, hey, let's keep this momentum, let's keep this confidence, take that shot, exactly like we saw Campbell Blogg do.
Fouls on number 8, Cooper. Wadine, unfortunately, just clipping the arm in that. I think it was Cooper, was it? Number 8.
Got his hand in the cookie jar, yes.
In the cookie jar, and that's all right. Look, and you're spot on. You're going to get some real enthusiasm.
As you see, as Cooper takes a seat, heads to the bench, and Gabs checks back in, Reece up off of his chair, full of confidence, saying, great job, young fella, that's exactly what we love to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too disappointed with that foul. That shows
Great battle inside by Boonji. Tipping it to his teammate. Here's Sapwell, defended by Blog. Tough look, good shot in the end.
That was a good shot. It was a good shot by number 21.
Lingard changing the jersey, bit of blood on his jersey before. Confusing all of us for half a second.
Who's that guy?
Foul's called, it's an offensive one.
Ooh, yeah.
Feet were set outside the charge circle.
Yeah, it looked to this point that the Miners were really scrapping to get their points. That last 2 points by Cooper was the first time they actually looked settled in offence and got an easy look. It's been the Sabres with the nice looks at the rim, nice looks at the basket. Everything's been really rushed for the Miners. They'll be trying to settle it down, and the Sabres, as you said, bringing that enthusiasm early. Coach Carter will be like, just keep that up, keep it a frenzy. We've got the youthful exuberance here. Yes, great in the first quarter, but it's going to be really important in the second and the third. And then, of course, down the end, as we come into the stretch, to just keep playing like that. That's where you don't get that from youth. You usually get that from experience.
Pozoglu's short on his shot. Great active hands by the Miners. Once again, once and twice. His Boonji kicks it out to Sapwell. That's his spot. Short on it once again, fighting for the rebound. Ball hits the support. Whose hand was it off last?
It's off the Miners, goes to the Sabres. They're talking about it, the refs. Actually switched it around off the Sabres. We'll go back to the Miners.
The old, I said white ball, but I pointed the way of orange. It's definitely Ballarat's ball. They've got 14 on the shot clock as well. Here's Pozoglu, kicks it to Sapwell. Opposite corner this time. Still misses by the same margin. Shots not falling to start so far for the Miners. As we've got 2 minutes left here in the first. Sabres up by 7, 19-12. Feet set, shot is good. Tom Coppins.
Tommy Coppins, another young talent for the Sandringham Sabres, under 21s, a product of a great team down there. You're right, feet set, had plenty of opportunity. That was great ball movement. Sabres really come to play in this first quarter. Great look, finishes with a 3.
Containing D by Blog. That's a tough shot for Boonji, but that is just the experience.
Yep.
Good offense, 9 times out of 10, beats good defense, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Great defense, but geez, that was sensational. That's a good player for you. Being able to knock down a 2 under pressure as the shot clock winds down. Bangs it home.
Here's Gabs, finds Blog. Shots blocked by Boonji. Manages to come up with it.
Oh,
great hustle to force the shot. No good. First, second, third attempt by Sapwell.
Tommy Coppins there with the run-down block, LeBron James style. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the ball back for the Sabres. But, geez, lots of energy. You wouldn't be too disappointed as a coach at the moment. You're not looking at the scoreboard, you're looking at effort.
Extra pass, there's Gabs, the southpaw. Dead on 3. Raining 3s here for
Great
the
to have
Sabres.
left-handers in the team, isn't it? You know, it just really upsets the apple cart. Love left-handers.
Driving in strong, D, and
Bang.
throws it down. Does Pozoglu. That's going to count, and a foul from behind as well on Gabs.
That's the first dunk we've seen today. Obviously, I didn't expect too much from the ladies' game early, but
Satina Ayakusko,
well,
known first made internet fame, throwing it down in a game as an under 18.
if anyone could today in the girls' game, she would have done it. But yeah, bang, knocks down the big dunk. It does Nicholas Pozoglu, and then misses with the extra point.
MVP of the NBL 1 West last year. And Campbell Blog, he's making a run for the NBL 1 South MVP this year.
My man Campbell Blog, wearing the 0 Guernsey, if you don't mind, young fella.
Bit of Russell Westbrook about it.
Left that hand up in the air and said, hey, don't worry, Campbell, we see you.
Foul's called. Which way is it going to go? It's called on Pantelis. Half a step too late. I tend to agree with the call.
Yeah, there was 2 Sabres there. Probably wasn't needed. Unfortunately, just a little bit too overzealous. Still on the move. Could see what he was trying to do there. But we had Zach Pantelis there along with Nicholas Gabs as well. Both set. Nicholas was set and unfortunately he's on the move. Anyway, It's a good start with 4.2 seconds left on the clock. Sandringham will go in either 8 points. Ooh.
Maybe 9
or
points.
9 points.
Maybe 10
I was
points.
going to say, yeah.
Safwell leaves the first one short.
9 or 10 points up. Gets that one, knocks it down.
4 seconds left. Torhi's been injected back in. They go to Gabs. There's Blog. He's hit it from here before. Just rims out. No good. Quarter time. 10 minutes in the books. 28-19. Sabres with the lead. And a lot of momentum going their way.
Really exciting first quarter there. Both teams, some highlights, but it was the Sandringham Sabres. It was the Sandringham Sabres that were the ones ready to play. We talked about it off the top. That energy was going to be their thing this afternoon with a lot of ins and outs. David Barlow's not even here. That's a big out. A lot of players out. I really like the way they're going about it. Like I said in the call, it's all about that second and third quarter, though. When things get tough, do the young fellas keep going, or is it the experience that wins out? That's going to be the story of the day.
Of course, the Sabres missing a host of players tonight. No Tom Wright for the next few weeks as he is out in Manila at the moment representing Melbourne Hoop City, trying to qualify for the Manila Masters in the 3x3 competition. No Kobe Davies either, who's been a very important starting point guard for most of the last 3 years, the youngster. But of course, Torhi really looking at home to start his return to the Sabres, I should say, having played here in 2016 as well. But 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 for 5 from the field. We saw him bringing the ball up a couple of times, doing a little bit of everything. And for a guy like Torhi, who maybe didn't get as much of an opportunity this year with the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in the NBL, really important for a player like him to come here and not necessarily dominate, but if nothing else, get a bit of confidence back under him after what he may see as an underwhelming season.
100%. Loved his moves to the basket. Really big, really strong. Ballarat Miners struggling to contain that brute force. I mean, he'd be the heaviest man out there for both sides. So talented, such a good player. Obviously, basketball is one of those games where you can have one or two absolute sensational players and still win the game. They've got that, so they'll be holding on to that. The Ballarat Miners, on the other hand, Preston Bungie, I've got to get that right. Preston Bungie, geez, he's athletic for an older statesman of the game. Loved watching his first quarter. He's been important for the Ballarat Miners.
Well, we saw him tear up the floor here last year when he played for the Sabres, and someone who's tearing up the floor at the moment is Campbell Blog, up to 9 points already. Really feeling it, feeling his shot. Doing a good job on D as well, defending for the most part that man that you just mentioned, Preston Bungie.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's brought the energy, and if I was, as Preston knocks down the...
Speak of the devil.
Has knocked down the easy deuce. Great, Jay. I'd leave Campbell out there as much as you possibly can this afternoon. Get some minutes into this young fella against some really quality opposition.
I feel bad for whoever's taken the reins of the Youth League men who are playing straight after this, because Campbell's suiting up for that game as well, and he's probably going to be a bit exhausted after all the minutes that he's going to be playing tonight.
I remember those days, being young and being able to play 2 games of football back to back, as we see a foul down underneath the basket.
Yeah, an awkward landing there. Pozzoglu landing right on the neck of Zach Pantelis.
He's reaching at the neck too at the moment, as you can see. Might have just wrenched it a little bit. He'll be all right. Nothing like being able to score a couple of points from an easy free throw to get over an injury.
Just like we mentioned in the women's game as well, every time Rachel Jarry's hitting the floor.
I must admit, I've done that many times in my sporting career. Geez, it could have been a season-ending injury, but if there was a ball coming back for a goal, I was up and ready to go. And if I didn't kick it down, I went again. So a little bit of a hold-up in play here is...
Yet another blood rule.
Blood rule from the Ballarat Miners.
That's the downside of wearing the white uniforms.
Shows up.
Every drop.
It shows up.
Little scrap and...
Yeah, if you're someone like the Atlanta Hawks, you don't have to worry about that too much, so you just wipe it off and get on with it.
Keilor Thunder, the Eltham Wildcats, the Melbourne Tigers. Plenty of red flowing around, but
Great club, the Eltham Mob out that way. Growing up, they were always a really strong club. Shout out to all of the members, players, whoever's watching and tuning in. I'm not sure there will be.
Well, Ballarat last night matching up against the Wildcats.
Yep.
Had a
good club, the Wildcats. Strong state for basketball, let's be honest.
Best state in the world. No foul called. Offensive rebound. Ball's kicked out to the corner and knocks that one down. Does Zach Dunmore.
Fair to say they needed that one, the Ballarat Miners, but that was textbook low defence from the Sabres, jumping straight up and, not getting that hand in there and fouling, so well done.
Threading the needle there is Zach Pantelis, and Gunawadena going to the line. A lot of fantastic passing we've seen so far this afternoon.
Good cutting. Good cutting to the rim, but good identification of that. Good vision as well by the big men to dish off. I speak of Big Tar, who's done it a couple of times. Zach Pantelis on that occasion, just giving up the ball and saying, hey, it's not about me. I see a young man flash into the ring. I'm going to give it off and maybe see if I can draw out an easy two. It's all about getting your players to score. You know, a wider range of scorers. We don't need one. You've got to get the confidence up of everyone. And I tell you what, Coach Carter will be saying that. Let's get the ball in the hands of everybody. Let's see if we can get people scoring. And on this occasion, it's Cooper I'm struggling with names. You're the best at this one. Gunawadena. Sounds like you should be playing cricket for Sri Lanka with a name like that. Which is good player, likely type, very bouncy.
There he is, active hands. Spent it before he had it. Great hustle. Ball goes out. Foul's called for a little bit of accidental tunnelling. That one's going on Sapwell.
Yeah, it was unfortunate pass in the end because it was really good defence for Gunawadena. Just got to clean that up, finish off the play. It would have been a nice, easy two for the Sandringham Sabres. 35-24. This is an excellent start as we get around about 2 minutes into the second quarter here at Chillip Street, Sandringham Sabres Stadium. Good turnout crowd here. Really enjoying it. Look at this.
Plenty of kids.
There'll be a bit going through the cafeteria. This is great for community sport, and especially those that have been a part of Tulip Street. As you know, there's 3 new basketball courts going up out the back.
Very exciting.
Long needed.
There's Blog taking it all the way high. Finish Torney. Just makes sure of it.
There you go. Big, strong tie at the rim. Follows up. Jams it down. Makes a statement.
Lead back out to 13. Shot's no good there. Big rebound by Smith Milner. Active hands by Amos Brooks, and a foul's called, and that should probably be an unsportsmanlike, and it is. And immediately, you love to see Smith Milner immediately heading over there and just saying, hey, when you did this, make sure you just sort it out. We're all good.
Yeah. Another blood rule here.
Got more blood going on.
Gunawadena comes off with the blood rule. Couldn't get away with it with the orange jumper. And like a young fella would do with a pretty decent rig, rips the shirt off, shows the crowd and says, yep, this is what you used to look like, old man, and changes that top. But, yeah, unsportsmanlike play. I mean, it's one of those things.
The breakaway fouls.
You do it from time to time. You don't mean anything by it. He certainly was no maliciousness in that, but obviously made the mistake and wanted to slow down the offense.
First one's no good there for Brooks. 9.6 rebounds last night for the Ballarat local.
He's a big man, isn't he? Big, strong force in the paint.
That one's too short as well. He's frustrated with himself.
Disappointed.
And he's going to have a fun matchup. And we've got another one.
Seriously.
I can see there's a bit of blood on the back. I can see it. That one, if I can see it from up here.
Yeah. David Crisp. Is it David Crisp?
It is.
Yes, it is. David Crisp. That's three jump. I think it's 2 times, or is it 3 times now for the Ballarat Miners have had to change their tops. And I'll tell you what, the property steward's got to have her work cut out for her down there. Look at her. She's scrambling to make sure. I think this is going to a little bit of water there to wash the blood off, because we're going to get that one back on. We're running out of tops.
We're going to need to get the old substitute jerseys, the Clash jerseys, back from the from the Sabres juniors down in the office.
Just, mate, look what they're doing right now. The refs are going
The
around
reversal.
checking everybody's nails to see what's going on here. Too many blood rules. We can't understand why. Everyone's nails were just checked.
Look, that definitely happens, and in a case like this, it's probably fair enough.
Yeah.
Either way, we're back underway. 2.5 down in the second quarter. 37-24, the Sabres with the lead. Switch coming down. The shot clock is tipping down. Shot's no good. Fight for the rebound. Sabres come up with it. Big screen, hard to get around the screen of Torhi. There's Gabs all the way, no good. Almost comes up with the steal as well. Boonji's got a head full of steam. Finds the shooter. Ooh. I like that no call.
Yep.
We play on nonetheless. Boonji stopped on a dime.
Airball.
Played for the foul, didn't get it. Pantelis running the lane. Another behind the back pass by Simos. Finds Torhi wide open.
Torhi, the big man.
Now, timeout called. The lead is now out to 16 points, 40-24. And this Sabres team, I don't think I've ever seen them play with this much confidence.
Tell you what, if you're in the starting lineup last week or the week before and you're not playing tonight, you're, for whatever reason, you're ill, you're away playing NBA, you're away doing something else, you might be worried about your spot. Because these kids, and I speak of blokes like Campbell Blogg, have come to play this afternoon. 40-24, they have flipped the script that we spoke about off the top of this call, where we thought it'd be the other way around. Fantastic effort by Coach Carter and his team. They've obviously talked about this. And the opportunity's there, plain and simple. And a lot of those guys out there wearing orange are grabbing it.
Well, we talk about the opportunities that the youth league players and these youngsters are taking, but it all starts with Torhi being in the lineup, because all of the focus naturally is going to go to the 205 centimetre, 112 kilo big man, and all the attention's going to go into the paint. And then you're seeing that he and everyone else on the team willing passes, looking to give up a good shot for a better shot.
Yeah.
So we've seen threes being knocked down by Gabs, by Campbell Blogg, by Tom Coppins. And these guys who are, you know, when the time calls and when their number is called, and whatever number it may be, because everyone's changing their jerseys, but they've got the confidence to take those shots, and they've got the ability to make make these shots.
Well, you talk about Torhi being out there knocking out shots. It's going to come down to management for him, because he's been out there for the whole game. I don't think he's had a sit yet. It's going to be about management for him down the stretch, because look at that, he's strong on the boards again. The Miners really not finding their way to the bucket at the moment. It's very messy. They're not moving the ball well. But yeah, management of this big fella is going to be crucial again as he gets to the rack and finishes off with
a soft touch.
Nice floater. He's unstoppable at the moment. They're going to have to give him a rest surely any minute now.
Strong, deep, nice extra pass. Good finish there for Jordan Lingard, and he needs that one.
He
needed his game going.
He needed it, and so did the Ballarat Miners, because,
definitely.
Geez, they were looking at a 20-point deficit going into the half-time, and they still could if they're not careful.
Switching into a zone here, leaving Nick Gabs wide open. Gets the lucky break. That's a shot that he knows he can and probably should make. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you out here, but Torhi not even the most minutes so far for the Sabres.
No, he's not.
Has taken a seat. The minutes leaders, Tyrone Simos and Zach Pantelis.
There you go.
Who aren't necessarily showing up as much on the stats in terms of points, but when you look at their plus minus.
No, call me out all you like, because this is my first crack at this. Nice move to the bucket.
Easy
Preston.
take.
He is obviously a very athletic man, the way he moves. Gets so close to the rim every time he goes for those layups. Fair to say they needed those 2 points.
3-point shots up and knocks it down, does Tom Coppins. So much confidence this entire team are playing with. And Tyrone Simos lost it, and a nice finish there by David Crispin.
Good player, David Chris. Very good player, good mover, very solid.
for you, the Washington Huskies, and the fantastic basketball program that they have. Gabs up,
Look at that.
down, lovely ball movement, and the Sabres bench are up and about. Look at them go.
Well, you called it lovely ball movement. I reckon that's the best bit of basketball we've seen this afternoon from this team. Great flicking passes, lightning quick, makes the Ballarat Miners' heads. They're all on a swivel at the moment. They're not keeping up. And I talk about Campbell Blogg and Tommy Coppins. Aren't they just fantastic talent for the Sandringham Sabres for the future?
Unbelievable. David Chris cannot believe that shot. He is racking his brain because this Sabres team are causing a lot of problems. A lot of issues.
Realistically, they could be going into halftime with 4 minutes 25 left on the clock. 20 points up, which is huge for the mental state of these young fellas. They'll be all up and about. There'll be a few high fives. You come back out, you score a couple of times early in the third quarter. I know I'm going very early on this, and I'm crystal ball gazing a little bit. But why not? Because, they've been fantastic, and it's a reality. On the flip side, the Miners, they really need to score here, and they need to score fast, and here's an opportunity straight away. That's a terrible pass.
And Pozzoglu goes all the way, and he can't believe he didn't finish that shot either, and that's kind of summing up the game so far. As Reece Carter calls a timeout for the Sabres, 4:15 left in the second quarter, 17-point advantage they have. And we mentioned going into halftime of the women's game earlier, the psychological standpoint of a double-digit versus a single-digit margin going into halftime, and I guess the opposite is true for the Sabres boys going into this one. Likely that they'll have a double-digit advantage, and the way things are going at the moment could definitely be that 20-point buffer. And you almost doesn't matter what happens in the second half now for the Sabres because it's more a case of, hey, let's keep going, let's keep doing this, and for the Miners, it's a case of, hey, let's wake up.
Yeah, wake up, guys.
How do we let this happen?
What's going on? Coach Sunderland absolutely would be saying that right now. He wants a good patch of basketball here, maybe 4, 6, even 8 points, catch up, some turnovers, just like we saw there. On the flip side, Coach Carter, he'd be pulling his hair out after that last one, and I looked over to the coach's bench after that turnover from an inbound pass. They're coach killers, those ones. I mean, that's the sort of stuff you just shouldn't be stuffing up. Well done to the Miners.
Lazy.
It's lazy, absolutely. And look, it's a youthful thing to do. You understand that these veteran Ballarat Miners guys were onto that, but we just can't let. That's what Coach Carter be saying. We can't let that happen. Let's hold this lead. Let's go and have a break at halftime, and let the Miners mull over what has been a pretty ordinary first half.
Pozzoglu to the line. Spent last year with Coburn in the NBL 1 West competition, where he averaged 17 points and 11 rebounds. Spent a bit of time in the NBL as well with the Cats, the Hawks, and most recently with the Tigers in the NBL 1 competition in season 2019. So he's been around the league. He's a bit of a veteran. Here's Gabs Odygy checking in for his first minutes, and his points per 40 minutes just went through the roof.
Bangs down that tray. Fantastic form. Good shooting.
Not enough English on that one there for Chris, but the O board. Lead now out to 20. Here's Crisp in the corner. He's had a couple shots from there. Miners living and dying by the three. And they finally get one off the hand of Cohen Sapwell.
Well, you're right. They are living and dying by the three because they've just got no opportunities. They drive in to score in the paint. They've had to shoot from the outside, and they have not been good up until that point. Fair to say, again, they needed those points, and they needed this turnover.
Brunji takes it all the way. Just uses his length and his athleticism. And you can see the Miners really stepping up out of this timeout.
Well, it was a smart move to call a timeout there because the Sabres were on a roll. They've come back out and they're ready to play.
Lovely take to the ring there for Tyrone Simos. Doesn't matter who's in front of him.
I like Tyrone Simos. I like the way he moves. Range. He doesn't look like a basketballer. Geez, the boy can play.
Sapwell all the way to the ring for 2 easy points. And for Simos, we talk about wingspan, we talk about length. And we got to talk about Tyrone Simos. He's got those long arms, dangly, Joe Ingles-esque. There's Campbell blogging, embracing his inner Steph Curry there with another 3.
He's loving the opportunity to play in this team this afternoon. He's saying, thank you very much for the call-up. Here's a little bit of faith. The faith you've shown in me, I'm going to give it back to you in spades and in 3s. Well done by that young fella.
Tick over 2 minutes left here in the first half. It's a 16-point advantage, the way of the home side. Simos driving in, stopping, fading. There's the little hook.
I like
He's doing everything for the Sabres right now.
He's at a patch. He's at a real patch of energy here. He's been fantastic. That drive, he says, identifies, we need something here. I'm going to go into the paint and finish off. He's been amazing.
Mismatch here. Crispon Coppins, active hands, comes up with the steal. Sabres are doing everything. They have seen the script that we wrote before the game, and they've just thrown it straight into the bin.
And I like this now. Just slow it down. Let's keep the ball out of their hands. You can sense the frustration of the Ballarat Miners as Campbell bites off a little bit more than he could chew there.
Bit of a heat check.
Yeah.
Here's Boonji, got away with a bit of a carry. Foul's called after the pass, so that basket's not going to count. Frustratingly for the Miners, as Gabs whistled for that one.
Yeah.
Just the second foul for the quarter. A third foul, excuse me. As Pantelis and Smith-Milner check back in. The 2 big fellas.
2 big men.
Simos takes a seat, as does Odygy.
That's a good move to bring the 2 big men back into the game. Coming down, minute 14 to go. Let's deny them some scores here because they're getting a little bit of a run, a little bit of confidence here. We don't deny them any confidence going into halftime.
Very important last minute here, going into halftime. So bring your starters back on. Here's Sapwell driving in his 3 orange jerseys. Manages to find Brooks, and tough finish there by the big man inside.
Very, very intelligent move. Good basketballer move there.
Using
and a
the
strong
ring
move, yeah. Ooh.
Active hands by Pozzoglu. Sees the big man in front of him, so he passes it off. Great hands by Gabs.
Good D. And Sabres ball.
It's going the way of the home side.
Again, one of those situations where both refs were opposite to each other in the calls, but
good communication there.
Yep.
Gabs says, I didn't touch it. Ballarat says, how did it go out? Then must have been a foul. Either way, Sabres have it. 2-for-1 opportunity here. Great active hands by Brooks, and pick the pocket of Torhi. Ball goes up, and the big man pulls it down.
Well done by the Ballarat Miners. A couple of turnovers now. I think that's maybe 3 in the last couple of minutes. That's what they needed. They needed some good defense turnovers to really, stop the bleeding, stem the bleeding. That these Sabres were just bringing the ball down court easily and getting to the rim, drawing fouls. They've put on a bit of a press, haven't they? And they're small men, they're guards, they're 1s and they're 2s. They're creating turnovers and getting scores from it.
Brooks whistled for that foul. Miners are over the limit. So Nick will go to the line and shoot 2. Brooks will take a seat. Says, I got grabbed. But Gabs to the line here. Tough night last night for him. 0 for 10 from the field for the youngster who is known for his scoring punch.
It's Trae Young-like.
Did have the 3 assists, 26 minutes. Tough night for everyone. Great tap there by Pantelis, but doesn't quite go the right way as the shot clock's turned off. So the Miners will hold for the last shot unless they turn it over like they've just done.
Interesting. Oh, and Sapwell, very unlike him. There was no one around him. There may have been a bump in the floor that made the ball bounce the wrong way, and it bounced straight out of bounds.
Summing up the afternoon so far, unfortunately. as the Sabres burn their last timeout heading into halftime, going to draw up a nice play here.
Yep.
And you can see we've got the old standing timeout here by the Miners. And if the NBL is to go by anything, that's one where we don't get the cameras in, we don't get the mic in. That's a stay out.
That's coach upset, stay away. I may say some swear words here. Not good enough, because the ball goes back to the Sabres here with a chance for them to go 17 points up going, or 17 points up going into the break. If they can get a nice 2 or even a 3, who knows?
The way the things are going at the moment, 11 for 16 from 3 so far. Threes being having been an issue for a while for this Sabres team, shooting a healthy 69% from 3.
Most of those coming from my man Campbell Blogg with the 12 points. If you don't mind, young fella coming off the bench.
4 for 7 from beyond the arc.
And then Tahi, obviously, with his 16 points, has been an absolute force in there. We knew he would be that. It's the surprise package has been these young fellas like Campbell, as I said, and Tommy Coppins, who's been fantastic in defence as well.
So Sabres ball, 14 seconds left. Gunawardena has it. He's being harassed by Hines. Double comes immediately. Pozzogli picks his pocket, goes all the way, puts a nice easy 2 in, and not what the Sabres wanted, the opposite of what the Sabres wanted, but exactly what the Miners needed going into halftime. It's still a 13-point advantage the way of the home side, 58-45. And I want to touch on something that you just mentioned before as we were heading out of that timeout, but you say these surprise packets being these youngsters. But for those that have been around the club and been around this league for a while, it's really not that big of a surprise.
No, it's not.
Seeing these guys you touched on before the ball was even thrown up to start the game, a player like Campbell Blogg, one that you've seen, and seeing what he's done so far with the 12 points, all coming from beyond the arc, 4 for 7 from 3. It might be a surprise to these guys who maybe haven't seen too much so far, but for those that have been around the league and been around this club, we almost expected this.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said to you in the call, or even before the game, Nathan Croswell, the head of development here for the boys, he talks very, very highly of Campbell Blogg, and indeed Tommy Coppins as well. He speaks very highly, in high regard about their play and their ability, and the fact that they're so raw, they're so young, with so much more learning to come. It's really exciting for those that come up here and watch basketball like there is today. There's a fair crowd in here watching a really decent game by the Sabres. Touch on those last 5 minutes, though. It's disappointing for the Sabres, but on the flip side, promising for the Miners, because they're back to doing what they probably should, and that's good defence. And it always starts from good defence. If you can turn it around, it's going to start from good defence. Scores comes from D, and that's what they got. Coach Sunderland would be very happy with that, because, all right, yep, you can go about your business and you can score, but scores from turnover, they're worth their weight in gold, because you got the double.
It's 3 points.
Exactly right. It's the double confidence and the team just really lifts. And on the flip side, a couple of really bad turnovers by the Sabres in the last 5 minutes. We've been all about the Sabres in this game, and so we should, because we didn't expect this. But the Ballarat Miners in the last 5 minutes, under pressure, were able to score. So it'd be interesting to see what comes out after half-time for both teams. A young team will go in feeling all chock full of confidence, but will that stuff come back out after half-time? Well, it remains to be seen. It's all up to the coaches now. Will the Ballarat Miners finally show up in the second half and do what we know that they can?
Half-time here at the Sabre Dome, and it's the home side with a 13-point advantage, 58 to Ballarat, 45, Quick break on our end, but more Coles Express NBL 1 South action right after this.
strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express. With award-winning Coles Urban Coffee Culture from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
certainly did. Just a little bit fumbly. I've started to know it's started to creep into the Sabres game. Need to patch that up. Maybe a timeout is needed soon if there's another turnover like that.
Patient offense here for the Miners. A lot of individual play, though. There's Boonji stopping on a dime. Manages to get the pass off, and that's no good. Gunawadna pulls down the board and brings it up the floor. Directing traffic is the young point guard. There's Tor. He got a little bit of space. That one hits back iron. No good, and Boonji catches it with a head full of steam. Spin move, stops on a dime. Classy finish.
Really classy, wasn't it? Fantastic move. There's the veteran coming out and saying, here we go. A couple of scores for him. Confidence.
12 points this afternoon for him. There's Torhi. Gab stops, pops. Risky going under on the screen, but it pays off this time. Boonji, plenty of contact, took a few steps. We'll call it even.
Tohi with the big, strong boards. He's a force.
We keep harping on it, but he's a big man.
He's a big man. Just sitting here.
Hard to get around.
Really close to him here with the commentary, I'm going to say box, the commentary box here. You can feel his energy every time he... Nice move there by Zach.
Strong by Pantelis. And he's cramping up a little bit. They did play last night.
And that was a professional foul by Tohi there. You can understand why he did that with Zach Pantelis. I don't know. Yes, it's cramp. Absolutely cramp. He needs to come off and have a spell. Heavy workload, obviously, over the last few days, 3 or 4 days.
25 minutes last night.
Yeah, Tohi just slows the play down. That's a good foul to take.
Get some of the pickle juice in. We can see. we can see Mr. Rob. I'll squeeze you goods and artists down there with the pickle juice. Jeez, it doesn't taste good, but it does the job.
Does the job.
There's Crisp. No good. He's getting really frustrated. Can't put the ball in the hole tonight.
And he's getting very physical too. That's obviously a plan by the Sabres. He's such a good player. They're putting some time into him.
Speaking of good players, there's Campbell Blogg.
Bang.
And he picks up where he left off at halftime.
He has the hot hand today. Come to play, young fella.
Driving in his Pozoglou. That's just far too easy for him.
No help D there at all. Very disappointing. Tyrone Simos would be very disappointed with his teammates there. Well, not very disappointed, just a little bit disappointed he wasn't able to get the help.
And defense has stepped up here a notch for the Miners. That shot is short. And the Miners will let that one go out of bounds. Both sides really stepping up the intensity to start this third quarter. A lot to play for.
Yeah, it was the Miners early. Got a couple of scores on the board, a couple of turnovers. You thought that they were going to get a bit of a run on, but the last minute or two, the Sabres were able to stem the flow a little bit, so credit to them. We still have a game on our hands, I feel.
He's Sapwell defended by Blogg. Boonji, he's been leading the charge here for the Miners. Tiptoeing on the line, didn't manage to step on it.
Boonji's so bouncy, hard to defend.
Very Kevin Durant-esque, that tall, lanky, active hands there by Pozoglou, and he's driving in. Lobs it up for Boonji, but left it way far behind. He's not too happy about that one. But they pull it out, get a good play. Here's Pozoglou spinning. Strong D, but the foul's called.
On Simos.
Just the second on Tyrone. Didn't do a whole lot wrong there, he believes at least.
Yeah, he's complaining to the refs that the arms went straight up, but refs didn't feel the same way. There was a bit of contact there, so all in all, I think the refs have been pretty good so far.
Oh, fantastic job by our three officials. Amos Brooks checking back in. Here's Pozoglou to the line. Knocks down the first. He's up to 9.
You can tell he's a very important player to their side, Pozoglou. He's a very solid player, very strong, get to the bucket, draw a foul. Looks like on that occasion was able to drop down the 2 free throws.
Pozoglou's had a taste of the next level. He's had a taste of the NBL.
Yeah.
And he wants to be back. And it's as simple as that. He's playing for a contract, like a lot of these guys are.
Yeah.
Great active hands there once again. And it's that man, Pozoglu, driving straight in the body of the defense, picking up an easy 2 and a quick timeout called by Reece Carter and the Southern Sabres as that lead is cut down to single digits, 63 to 55. In this last minute or so, it's really been led by the man that we've been talking about, Nick Pozoglu.
Pozoglu's been fantastic. He's come out after half-time. We talked about this in the call. We talked about it at half-time, what was going to happen when they came back out after the main break. It's really important you get those processes right with a professional team. You come out, you do your plays, you make your shots, you defend, but it's also those other things like going in at half-time. How do you prepare yourself for the second half? Whatever situation you're headed with. Maybe it's you're up by 10, maybe you're up by 20 when you shouldn't be, which is the situation here this evening. Maybe you're down by 10. Desperation, you come back out. That's Ballarat for you. They come out desperate, and you can see that in the way they're defending. 3 or 4 turnovers, I would have thought, this quarter. And Sandringham were the ones that are feeling the pressure of being in front. Now, what did they talk about at halftime? Did they say, right, all we've got to do is come out and do this, let's run some plays, let's just keep it process-driven? And they haven't been process-driven at all. They've been a little bit too scrappy, I feel, too a little bit individualised. So he hasn't been his usual self. A couple of turnovers by our 1 and 2 men. Campbell Blogg's been pretty good, knocked down that 3. There are some winners out there, don't get me wrong. But this next couple of minutes really vital for Sandringham after that amazing first half they put in if they want to keep that lead.
Gunawadana bringing it up for the home side. More active hands by the Miners. Here's Boonji attacking. Strong D inside. And there's Pozoglu once again just tipping it in. Lead now at 6.
Geez, Preston and Pozoglu have been fantastic in this third quarter, leading the charge to get back into this game.
Pozoglu has 6 of the Miners' 12 points this quarter.
Interesting to see how many turnovers this quarter
He's
by
Blogg
Sandringham.
Harassing D. And the
one.
Miners come up with it, and the intensity has really stepped up a notch.
Yep. Turnovers, they kill you. I would have thought 7, 8 turnovers by the Sandringham, committed by the Sandringham Sabres in this third quarter. Well done to the Miners. They really are forcing it.
5 turnovers in the first 5.5 minutes. That's one every
Yes.
less than 2 possessions. Strong D, even stronger finish by Tom Collins.
Tommy.
Doesn't matter who's in front of him.
Tohi with the foul there, committed the foul, had to. I think it was the hand in with the second movement. The first movement was, I think the refs agreed that it was okay.
Down the bottom.
The
Down the
was
bottom.
Okay, yeah. Then the hand came swiping through and maybe just got a little bit arm there. We're too far away from the play to call it, but I think it was the right call. There was no discussion by the Sandringham boys, and Tohu certainly didn't look too disappointed with it, but left one out under the ring and another turnover. Sorry, it wasn't a turnover, it was just a fast play back up the other way. So better defence to slow that down. It needs to come.
Sabres now in the bonus as well. 4 fouls to 0 to start this third quarter, and not a surprising sub here by Reece Carter and the Sabres, getting Nick Gabsch back in. Bit of a slightly more gritty defence player and one who can really make stuff happen on the offense. Gunawadana still bringing the ball up. Is the young point guard. Talking to Coach Crosby before the game, he noticed the times that Cooper sometimes felt a little bit out of depth and got a little bit nervous, being thrust into this position with no Tom Wright backing him up. It's all him, as a miscommunication there between the two guards.
Yep.
That last week when the Sabres played Frankston, Tom Wright was there. So all the attention going to Tom Wright, it let Cooper kind of do his own thing and not be the main focus.
A quarter and 3 minutes to go, and you've got to suggest that the Sandringham boys are looking tired, and you look at Tohi, who's had a heavy workload, and that's a defensive.
Smart foul.
It's smart foul. Slowing, that's what he's trying to do at the moment. He's trying to slow them down because they have come out with energy, and it's the Sandringham boys that gave it all in the first half. A quarter and 3 minutes to go. How do you manage your players from this point in? Because they are making simple mistakes, and that's just because they're tired. They brought high energy at the start of the game, and it feels like right now Ballarat, they've got all the energy, they've got all the momentum, they've got all the ascendancy, and they're using it, they're scoring. And what was it, nearly 20 points going in at half-time. They've brought it right back to 8 points. So well done to the Miners, they're playing fantastic.
And combining that with the experience, the maturity, and having been there before for the majority of these Ballarat players. A lot of these Sabres, yes, they've, Nick Gabsch has played at this level for the last 2.5 seasons or so. Pantelis, although having missed quite a bit with injury, still been in and around the club, and, Torhi and guys been in the NBL for the last 4 or 5 years. But all of these NBL 1 guys for Ballarat, they've been there. They've been at this level, and most of them have been up higher, some having played overseas or having played in the NBL, or at least been at this level for the last number of years. So they wouldn't have been overly nervous going into halftime. They would have known that, okay, now we have to step up. Now we have to really switch on. There may have been a small case of underestimating, or I don't want to use the word disrespect, but like coming into this game knowing that they were going to win. So they
100%.
didn't come into it at full...
No, you're right. They're
fully switched on, and they got what they deserved to start the game. So now they have to start from 20 points behind.
Well, they found their energy late, haven't they? They didn't have it at the start of the game. I mean, it was very obvious to see. They've found it late. They've realised they've had to go to work. And some of their really steady, good players, their leaders like Pozoglu, have stepped up and gone, well, come on, boys, we need to find something here. As the Sabres are just scrambling to find a bucket here.
Great hustle on the offensive rebounds. Here's Pantella. Shot clock ticks down. Something has to happen. They find Gabsch in the corner. That three's no good. More hustle on the O boards, but Boonji just rips it out and says, I'll take that one. Here's Crisp with the left hand. Beautiful play. He's starting to wake up after a slow first half.
All of a sudden, it's back to 4 points, and the panic button starts to hit on most of the Sandringham boys. They need to take that finger off that button because there's so much more time to go in this game. Yeah, it's to and fro. It's like boxers. You go at it, you get hit, you hit. You just got to roll with it, and we finally get a score from the Sandringham.
Speaking of rolls, the friendly roll there for Gabsch, who finds a gap that wasn't even there.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
Up to 11 points.
Used his really good pace to get in there. Nice spring, got up close to the ring, the finger roll. Gets that 2 that the Sandringham Sabres needed.
And that's why I reckon the insertion of him was super important. A tough shot there, strong D by Simos. But inserting Gabsch in at a moment like this, here's Cooper all the way. Tough finish there for Gunawadna.
Well done, well done. Good pace, pushing the ball up the floor. Don't just transition slow. Get it up there. Test the defense. Yes, they are older than us, so let's use energy here. That's the one I'd be using. And bang.
Shot there.
Zachary Dunmore. Zachary, what was needed, a 3-pointer.
You're a natural. You're a natural. That one's going on the NBL 1 socials.
Oh my God, I am a dad. That's a dad joke. If ever there was one.
Gabsch harassed by Dunmore, just waltzes all the way to the ring. That one's no good.
It's good defense, wasn't it?
Here's Boonji. Manages to split through everyone, but spent it before he had it. Blew out a tyre.
Unlucky because he's been so good.
Deserved to go. Definitely deserved.
So good at getting to the rack. That was just one of those occasions where it was, the ring came up to him just a little bit quicker than he expected.
Gunawadna draws the contact. He'll go to the line.
And we all take a collective breath. That's been frenetic. I think everybody said, thank the Lord. We just need a breather here. Slow it down, especially for the Sabres. I don't think this works too much into the Miners' hands because they've been on an absolute roll and loving the frenetic pace in this third term. But there you go. Drive to the rack, Cooper, Gunawadeen, and draws the foul. We can all just take a breath. Needs to drain these two.
And one thing that we were worried about and that I've mentioned before was at times last night, Nathan Cross was saying that Cooper sometimes felt a little bit out of depth, a little bit overwhelmed being the main guys as he splits the pair there. Looking really comfortable coming out here, playing with a lot of aggression, playing with a lot of confidence. And we saw he had a lovely drive to the ring before where he finished the shot. That time he got 2 free throws. Didn't knock them down, but there's something there, the energy and the aggression and the self-belief.
It's such a confidence position, the one man. It really is.
Splits the defenders. Can't quite finish there for Gabsch. active hands by the Sabres.
I just feel like that point guard, that shooting guard, you really need your confidence up early. You want to hit a shot early in the game. Otherwise, it's one of those ones. It's like being a half-forward flanker in football, to use a football term. You need that early kick just to settle the nerves and feel like, yeah, I'm on today. I'm going to have a good game. The same can be said for a point guard. You know, it's an important position. Bring that ball down the court, but also make clutch shots from a long way out.
All the way through. No foul called.
Very physical hit.
Bit of knee-on-knee contact. Shot clock's turned off here. Ballarat can cut this to a single shot if this one goes down. Great D, but the Boonji shot goes up and it's no good. 3-quarter time here at the Sabre Dome. Sabres still clinging on to a 6-point lead, 70-64. And I don't think either of us are too surprised at what we saw there in that third quarter. Ballarat coming out with a lot of energy, a lot of aggression, and putting a big dent into this deficit.
Well, the quality of their list just shows up, doesn't it, right there in that third quarter? I mean, that's sport for you. Sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off, and if you can make sure that you're on, if you're off, you don't make it for the whole game. You've got to be on at some point in the game, and they've done that, haven't they? They've switched it back on. Look, the Sandringham Sabres, if you asked them before the game, we're going to give you a 6-point lead leading into the last quarter, I reckon they would have taken that.
Every day of the week.
Every day of the week. And, as we see the halftime entertainment, two young fellas having a shot from half court.
One going down last week as well.
Oh, really?
Oh, the crowd was up and about.
Went mental. Well, that was a young Tommy Overton, who plays in the Sabres rep program here. Good to see some kids in the house this afternoon. I went down to the cafeteria just before, and I reckon I saw 6 or 7 young fellas that I identify. A lot of those guys from the under-14s rep ones, which is fantastic to see. So it shows that they're invested in this and really loving being here at the stadium. It's important for development. It's important to see where you can get to, and you're seeing the best. You really are seeing the best this afternoon. Some guys that have played NBL. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Well, the best, with all due respect to the players on the court right now, the best still to come for the Sabres.
Absolutely.
We've got Dave Barlow, the prodigal son, or not even the prodigal son, because he never left.
No.
Who still shows up every year regardless, and of course we want him. We couldn't get him out the door even if we tried. But, Shea Illy, who signed for the 2020 season that wasn't, spent last year with the Geelong Supercats. We've got Dion Prewster, MVP of the New Zealand League. We've got David Okwera, a young up-and-coming superstar. And then not to mention Tom O'Brien, Kobe Davies not suiting up for the Sabres today, but 2 Sabres juniors who have had a really strong NBL 1 career.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Tom Wright, who's out, who's in the Philippines at the moment for the qualifying for the 3x3 Manila Masters, and we wish him and his team all the best.
Absolutely.
But we've got Torhi, we do have some NBL talent out there.
Speaking of talent, gets to the rack, big, strong, just lays that one in with a finger roll under heavy pressure. That's what he does.
Lead now back to 8, 72-64. Lovely wraparound pass. Shot goes up there for Lingard. Knocks that one down.
Nice shot.
Big start to the quarter for the Miners.
Good finish. Again under heavy pressure.
Here's
Sweet shot.
Gabs. Plenty of contact. Finds the pass to Pantelis, and Boonji broke it up. And a smart foul in transition there for young Tom Coppins.
Pantelis.
Slowing the ball down.
He shattered about that one because he was right there. It was a nice feed, and he only just had to get up to the rim and put that one down. But it was good hands by the Ballarat Miners to force to create the turnover.
So Miners ball here, 45 seconds into the fourth quarter. Sabres still with the lead. Driving in, thought about the pass. Strong D inside.
That's a foul.
Foul's called.
Offensive foul. Offensive foul on... No. They're conferring. It's gone back the other way.
Foul's eventually called on Zach Pantelis. That's
Maybe.
number 4 on him.
Classic tunnelling under the basket.
A little bit of confusion from everyone there.
Well, I'm not sure he had many other options there. He was completely climbed over, but the refs adjudicating that it was a clean, straight-up jump.
Here's Chris. Slow first half, but he's starting to really laser in as that shot is a bit short.
Sabres need to score here.
Here's Simos trying to find Gabs. He's being harassed. Here's Coppins, turns the corner, thought about it. Simos goes all the way. Plenty of contact, no call. As a foul's called, and it's an offensive one. Great D there by Zach Pantelis, putting his body on the line.
Well, he wasn't happy about that last call. He was going to make sure that he got something there, and that was good. He got there early, planted the feet, waited for the contact, went down. That's a foul every day of the week. Well done.
Risky play as well, playing with... It's just the 2 fouls. I've made a lot of problems with my notes. It's early season for all of us.
No, that's all right. Well, Simos came down before with that drive. Credit to Ballarat Miners. They have been good after half-time with their pressure, with the drives. They've made it really hard to score easy buckets. I think that might have been a direction from their coach. Let's just make it hard for them to score closer to the rack. You know, if they've got to shoot threes, then let them do that. Every time they've driven in, they've found it really hard.
Blog bringing the ball up.
Yeah,
and then Gabs losing it. Smart foul there by Pantelis. Knew exactly what he was doing there. We're going to have a talk about it as to whether or not it's whistled and unsportsmanlike. It's just called a common foul.
I think it was a common foul. He really was trying to drag that ball out from the bounce, but just got it wrong. I love the refs' attire this afternoon. They've really done some good stuff there. Sponsored by Coles, as you can see.
The Coles Express NBL 1 South. We thank them for their amazing contribution to basketball all across the country.
Absolutely.
There's Colin Sappwell.
A little too strong there.
Here's Gunawadana. Sabres slowing it down. Needing a good one here. Simos driving in, finds a bit of space. Last second pass to Pantelis, who finishes through the tall timber.
Well, that's a carbon copy of what happened before. And on this occasion, Pantelis was able to get up and make the shot. Well played.
That's a credit to these youngsters' ability to stick with the play and not drop their heads too much. Last play knocked it, should have got it. Finishes that time as David Crisp knocks down a very important 3, not just for the team, but for himself as well.
Jeez, he's a good player.
Up to 12 points. Margin is at 4. Sabres with the lead. Nothing coming easy here. Shot clock ticking down. Torhi says, I'll take this one. Bit of a rainbow.
Big fella. A little bit of pressure there. Had to shoot a little higher than he wanted to. Campbell Blog with the foul there.
Sabres really struggling with this defensive transition at the moment, having to commit a number of fouls just to slow down the play. And just like that, less than 3 minutes into the quarter, they're in the bonus.
Just shows that they haven't got the energy they had at the start of the game. They're not getting in front of their men. They're just trailing in a little bit side by side, trying to stop them reaching in fouls. It's the classic example. You need the energy, get out in front of them early to stop their runs to the basket.
Crisp thought about the step back. Cuts in, there's Boonji. Lovely 2-man game from Crisp and Boonji.
Suddenly we're back to 2 points. Who would have thought at half-time that this would be the case when it was something like 17 points the differential. That's the game of basketball. It can change on a dime. Tohi loses the handle of the ball off his foot. The ball will go into the hands of the Ballarat Miners.
And a timeout called. Desperation timeout here called by Reese Carter and the Southern Sabres. 74-72. And not too much panic with the coaching staff there. We can see the experienced heads, the cooler heads, have really deliberating about it, but something has to change. Yeah. Something has to happen. As we can see that Ballarat have really stepped up their intensity on both sides of the ball, but now it's over to the Sabres to make something happen.
And no, there's no reason to panic just yet. We still look at the clock, there's 6 minutes 43, which is a long time in basketball in the last quarter. Coming down the stretch, you need level heads. You can't be going too crazy right now. Draw up some plays. You know, you've got time. Try a few different things. Still got time to do that. We don't need to put our best starting 5 on just yet. Let's keep going at it, see what we can produce. What was it in the first quarter, first half that we were doing that's different to now? Just a little bit of panic has crept into the Sandringham Sabres game. Let's settle down a little bit here. Let's run a play. Let's get a 2. Let's get a 3. Let's go back down the court. Let's contend. Let's defend. And let's just play basketball. For the Miners on the flip side, they'll be wanting to keep that frenetic pace up because they have really handled it well, haven't they?
And a coach like Reece Carter is the type of person, along with Nathan Croswell, the brilliant heads that we've got on the bench as well.
I don't think I've ever seen Nathan Croswell frazzled.
I don't think he knows the meaning of the word. With all due respect to the man.
So level-headed.
Tough shot there for Chris. Probably not the one that the Miners would have wanted coming out of the timeout. But a good stop there by the Sabres. Here's Gabsch. Harassed by Sapwell. They find Tohi. He's got the size mismatch all the way to the ring, and that's no good. Sabres will keep possession off the scone of Pozzoglu.
Tohi really needs to lift his game right now. He needs to produce something for his young brigade out there. Big fella went to work there, down low, came in from the wing, wasn't able to finish off what he was finishing off in the first and the second quarters.
Scoreless in the third.
Yeah.
16. He's got 18 points on the game. 16 of them in the first half. Here's Tohi. Thought about it. Fakes the pass. Gets the O board. No, he doesn't. And the Miners could tie or take the lead here. Foul's called. It's whistled on Nick Gabsch. Didn't quite get possession. And bonus free throws.
Yep, in the bonus now. The Ballarat Miners. They've got this game not well in hand, but they've certainly got a handle on it. They know what they're trying to do. They can work their way back here. There was no panic button hit by them, and we talked about that. They've just worked their way back into this game as Tommy Coppins steps out, as Campbell Blogg comes back into the game. We don't worry about it. The Ballarat Miners. They know what they're doing. What is it that Sandringham need to do right now? And I talked about it a minute ago. Tohu, he needed to score. He needs to score from now. You know, he's working. He's going to work down low. He's just rimmed out a couple of times. So close. Nearly scored 3 or 4 times. One of those drops, his team will get a massive lift from that. Let the big man go to work. Clear some space for him. He's got too many blokes to contend with at the moment down low.
Well, he's been doing a pretty good job of getting to the ring. It's just a case of those micro touches, those little finishes, you know, just rimming out, a little bit short, a little bit left, a little bit right, things like that. And you can see the visible frustration on his face right now because he knows he should be finishing these.
Absolutely. And that
big screen.
That orange singlet of his is absolutely drenched at the moment.
It's almost red.
And that is off the knee of the Sandringham Sabres player, Simos. And it'll go back to the Ballarat Miners with a chance to go up for the very first time in this game. They've been down all game, sometimes as high as something was 17 points at one stage, close to 20 points. They could go ahead with a bucket here. And
you can see they're not surprised. They just knew that this was going to happen.
Yep.
Here's Grungy. Step back behind the back. Tough look. No good. Big rebound by Tohi. Wants to bring the ball up as well. Sabres need a score here. Here's Gabsch. Thought about it. Gets the double. Lovely ball movement. Gunawadna. Smart passes. There's Blogg. That was a little bit too short. No one decides to stop the ball, so Crisp goes all the way, draws plenty of contact. And he'll go to the line to put the visitors in front.
How many fouls is that now for Tohi?
That was whistled on Gunawadna.
Oh, it was on Gunawadna, right?
Yes.
I think Tohi might be climbing up a little bit, but that...
Tohi's got 3 as well.
Yeah. Yeah, look, no panic from the Ballarat Miners at all with their offensive play. They're just getting it done. But you see with Sandringham, they're really scrambling, aren't they? But on the flip side, it's Ballarat Miners' defence. They are really
Definitely stepped up in the second half.
It's one of those things you can just see, can't you? You can so plain to see the desperation, the work rate to get in front, to get those arms up, to create mayhem. And Sandringham has certainly felt it. Every time they've gone to get an easy score, they've just got a hand in there, the Ballarat Miners. They've just got a hand in and created a turnover. So it's going to be an interesting next 5 minutes, to say the least, as the Ballarat Miners step up and lead by 1 point for the first time this afternoon.
4 minutes 50 left in the fourth quarter. Miners with their first lead of the afternoon, 74-75. Here's Torhi.
Sabres ball.
And you can see he's really starting to force a bit here. We know the ball needs to go through him. We know he needs to be the one to step up.
Well, it absolutely does. They need to make some space for him too. It's very clogged down low. They need to open up that key for him to just drive in there. Everyone needs to get out, create some space, move. Let him go to work.
We've got a little pause in play, a bit of sweat on the ball.
No, that's come
and
from
I wonder
Doherty.
where that's come from.
Don't chest mark a big fella. That ball's going to be drenched.
Sabres ball on the baseline, 13 on the shot clock. Nice little pause, everyone can catch their breath. Need a score here to the home side. There's Blogg. Gabs, tough shot. Playing for the foul, probably could have got it. No whistle though, would have got that last night in Tasmania, but then it would have been overturned, as we saw from Chris Golding. Here's Boonji driving in, spinning, that's his move as Crisp hits his three. He's up and about and he lets them know about it.
Absolutely pumped. Bangs home a big three for the Ballarat Miners.
And the lead out to 4, picks the pocket, does Pozzoglu. Here's Crisp, turns on the afterburners, plays for the foul, doesn't get it. Gabs pulls down the board.
That would have been disastrous for the Sabres if Crisp was able to put that one away. The momentum is fully with the Ballarat Miners. 4 points now. That's a turnaround of almost 24, 25 points. That's a lot.
Sabres need a score here. Haven't had one for a while. There's Gabs who gets all the way to the ring and an immediate timeout by the Miners. 3:40 left in the game. 76-78. The visitors have the lead. And I really like that timeout from Ballarat. As soon as Sabres get any kind of a roll, any kind of points, immediately shut it off. And let's have a talk about it. And let's see how we're going to win this game.
Absolutely. The Ballarat Miners, talk about players. David Crisp has come to life in this third quarter. He's been amazing. Knocked down a 3, just missed an easy 2 there, but he's been a part of almost all of their forays forward. For every foray forward into their offensive play, he's had a hand in most of their scores. Pozzoglu, he's been big as well. That's a leader for you. He's doing what a leader does. They call it captain's goal in football.
14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals for Pozzoglu.
Captain's buckets in basketball. That's what you need when it comes to it. And you can see that with Tohi obviously trying to do that. You called it. He's the big man out there. He knows he's the leader with the most experience out there. He's trying to create something for his teammates. Maybe he doesn't have to do that now. Maybe he just needs to put a bit of trust in all his players because we've got some natural scorers out there and they were doing it in the first half. Relax, let it go. There's still a long time to go in this game. You don't have to win by 20. You just got to win by 1.
Percentage not a factor in the NBL 1 South competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Torhi, just the 2 points in the second half, had 16 in the first. Sabres need to step up here on defense, and they get a lucky break as Sapwell blows the layup at the ring.
Sapwell will be really disappointed with that. Had a good look at that rim.
Here's Blogg, kicks it to the corner. There's Gunawadana. Nope. No good. Goaltending call. Is that 2 or 3? Those 3 points are going to count.
Ballarat Miners are not happy about that.
Believe that one gets called. Thought it was off the ring.
Luke Sunderland is up off his seat and not happy. Colin Sapwell is talking to the refs, quite demonstrative about this. He's certain He's certain that it was just part of the rebound process, but it's not going to change.
Not sure if his hand went through the ring or because he touched the ring. You cannot touch the ring. Once the ball hits the ring, it's live. It's not like the NBA. Ball hits the ring, it's fair game, but may have touched the ring. The net definitely
I
moved.
saw something move.
It looked off.
I'm with you there. It looked off. It looked a little bit. It could have been goaltending. I can't tell from here, but I'm with you. I think there was a hand through the rim or a touch of the rim.
And then a big stop there by the Sabres as they've retaken the lead, 79-78. And then a little bit of miscommunication. Ball bounces off Gabsh's leg.
See, that there has happened twice now. That's Tohi coming down the court with a really push forward, a strong push forward pass that his younger brigade hasn't been able to handle. And that's just the levels. That's the levels. He's played a higher level where he pushes that pass forward at that pace.
Yeah,
and
he's throwing it to a Mitch Creek or a Kyle Adnam or a Ryan Brockhoff.
They're eating that one up.
Big threes, no good. Hustle for the rebound does Lingard. Goes the way of the Sabres. 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 79-78, the home side with the lead.
This crowd's come to life, mate. It's come to life. It's just exciting stuff. And this is what you wanted to see. Come to the basketball scene, exciting game.
And there's still another game after this for the people in the stands. So if you're around the southeast of Melbourne, get on down to the Sabre Dome as Nick Gabsh hits a massive three.
That's a captain's three.
Up to 14 points for Gabsh. Crisp, no good. Torhi pulls down the board. Bit of physicality off the ball here.
Tohi's been huge in this last 2 minutes in the key. Defensive rebounds, massive. Coming up strong, big fella.
And driving in. Plenty of contact. A late whistle called.
Finally gets a foul. That's the foul he's been looking for a couple of times. A couple of drives at the basket now. He's been a bit disappointed he hasn't got one. They haven't really been there, but that was definitely there. And that's big man moving at pace, getting it, and then there's panic set in for the Ballarat Miners. Here comes this big freight train. What do I do? Hand goes in, foul, 2 shots.
Timeout called by the Miners. Just under 2 minutes left here. Sabres with a 4-point advantage, 82-78. And in the third quarter, and earlier in the fourth quarter, that little reach in by David Crisp, that was all ball. And then the Miners are off to the other end, whether it's by Crisp or by Pozzoglu. But we can feel the momentum starting to shift a little bit. The crowd's getting involved. Granted, there are plenty of travelling fans here. But, you know, the energy starts to lift a little bit. That controversial goaltending call really started to shift the momentum a little bit. And just like that, Sabres retake the lead, and they have the chance here to put it out to a 3-possession game.
Well, it's just energy. It's all about energy. The Ballarat Miners didn't have it, then they've got it, and they've got it back. And in this last couple of minutes, you can see that it's lifted for the Sandringham Sabres. Big Tohi drives to the ring with energy, pace, gets there, and because it's done with such freight train-like pace, which wasn't there, I have to say, it wasn't there in the third quarter. Probably wasn't there in the second quarter as much as it was there in the first quarter, but just then, he said, nah, I'm going in here and I'm going in strong. And because he did it like that, the Ballarat Miners were scrambling. Oh, what do I do here? The hand goes in, and it's and they can settle down now. 2 shots here, takes it up to 84-78. Bang, knocks down the first one. He can start to protect the lead.
Torhi out of with the club option this year with the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, a really important off-season for the big man, playing for a contract, playing to show the Phoenix front office, to show Tommy Greer and Simon Mitchell that he deserves his spot. Not going to do a lot there when he just doesn't even bother trying to come in for the weak side help.
That was poor. That was poor.
84-80, 90 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Sabres miraculously with the lead. But if you watch the way they've played, they deserve it. Gabs with the dump-off pass to Tor. He draws another foul. He'll go to the line once again.
He needed to do that. He had to make up for what he just did down the other end of the court. And that's being a little bit harsh on the big fella, because sometimes when you do get tired, and he has had a big, heavy work rate this afternoon, up and down
this weekend
floor.
as well.
This weekend
big
as well.
Last week. But that's why he's with the club.
That's right.
He's the veteran. He's the leader. He's had the NBL experience. He's had the international experience with the Tall Blacks.
Well, he's coming up big here in the last final minutes of this game. We're a minute 25 to go.
Up to 21 points with that one.
You've got to make that split-second decision to go, and he didn't do that down the other end of the court. He did this time. Comes up big again with 2 free throws. He's knocked down 4 in a row now. Big fella. Very important.
80 seconds left in the game. Sabres with a 6-point advantage. Here's Boonji driving in, harassed on D. Little bit too overzealous there. Is Cooper Gunawadana. Both teams in the bonus. 2 free throws for Boonji.
Haven't seen much of Boonji for the last, maybe quarter or so. He was big in the second and third. Probably the only one that was keeping in the minute in the early parts of the game. Haven't seen much of him, unsighted really until this point. Knocks down that first free.
15.
Minute 16 to go. Very important free throws being made here.
15 points with that free throw. His first points of the fourth quarter. Hits them both. 2 big points. The clock is the Sabres' friend here. A 2-possession game, 86 to 82. Here's Blog, harassed by Boonji. Shot clock ticks down. Tyrone driving in. Gets as close as he can to the ring. Sapwell head full of steam. Gab strong. D, good finish in the paint.
That was great. That was really good. Sapwell getting to the rim. That right-hand finish.
86-84. Big screen set by Tohi. Miscommunication on the pass. And the Miners come up with it.
Yep, that's a mistake. Rushed it. Didn't need to happen. Again, just young heads, not prevailing. Sees the drive, overzealous, throws it over his head, it goes out of bounds.
37.6 on the clock, 2-for-1 opportunity. Miners will be looking for a quick score here, and that's why the Sabres have injected a bit of full court pressure. Let the clock run a little bit. Miners will be looking for a quick one so they can get the ball back. They go to Boonji, who drives in, tries to dump off the pass. Finish is no good by Pozzoglu. Tohi pulls down the board. And the shot clock is turned off.
Foul.
And the Miners need to foul. Boonji does just that. Bonus 2 free throws by Cooper Gunawadana.
And that was good by Tohi. He could have fouled, didn't. No fouls by Sabres. Forced you would have thought any day of the week you would have made that shot. It was easy in the end, but that's the pressure at the end of the game, isn't it? You know, so
pressure makes diamonds, as they say.
That's exactly right, and he wasn't able to finish there at the bucket. Just needed to kiss it off that backboard, but missed the backboard completely. Toad comes up with the rebound, but
big free throws here for Gunawadana.
Yeah,
needs to hit the first one. Does just that. Big sigh of relief. There's no pressure here. Look at him. This is what he does. This is to bring it out to a 2-possession game.
Ooh.
Second one hits back iron. 17 seconds on the clock. A 3 will tie it. Sabres really stepping up all the way to the ring. Is Sapwell, who misses that one. Ball's out of bounds, and the Sabres come up with it.
Game over.
6.5 seconds on the clock. Timeout called.
Timeout, they're going to advance
by
the ball.
Reece Carter.
Smart play.
You would imagine the Sabres will advance it. 3-point advantage.
Well, this is huge. This is huge. This is huge for them and their confidence. They can come away with a win with 6.5 seconds left on the clock. This is a huge win for them. Getting the W is one thing, but getting it under pressure from a really good team, that's something you can go back to the change rooms with and go back to your training through the week and go, boys, that's the standard. That's what we can do when we come together and really go further from here with that. Sets this season up, a win like this. Absolutely. Backs to the wall. At home, yes, that helps. Absolutely. Again, you got your support. But my word, a lot of guys out, a lot of young fellas in the team really coming up big when it mattered. And, of course, Tohi, we know how important he's been.
Need to play smart here. You know that the Miners are going to go for that steal immediately, if not the quick foul. So he's sending your free throw shooters out there, sending your experienced players making a smart play.
Geez, I love Tohu. I love the way he goes about it. The big man doesn't look like he could run all day, but he's just pounded the boards today, hasn't he? He's pounded the floor up and down. Work rate from the big man. Here we go. This is going to be exciting. 6.5 seconds left on the clock.
Gabs to inbound. Need to get a safe inbound here. 6.5 seconds left. They get an easy one into Gunawadna.
Young fella gets a crack at the... Ooh, a little bit of
afters there.
A little bit of argy-bargy. A little bit of disappointment shown on the Ballarat Miners. Actions there. That's who's that. That was
Gunawadna. Look at him. He's so calm.
Cohen Satwell not happy with the way it's gone in the end. He's missed a couple of shots that he normally would make. Such a quality player.
18 points, 6 of 19 from the field. Really struggled
Yep.
this afternoon. 5 rebounds, 3 assists.
He's got
big first free throw there by Gunawadna.
Young fella, well done.
Stretches it out to 4 points.
He'd be so happy with his game, and so he should be. A couple of turnovers, but he really has come up big in the last. Oh, and that's a...
The goaltending going to be called as well, and
I think that was through the rim again, maybe. She's seen it, ref's seen it from the side that it's gone through the rim.
bit of miscommunication here because technically that one maybe not a goaltend. I can't see the angles of here, and I'm always going to take the side. I'm always going to take the side of my officials.
Yep.
But I understand the frustration. It's been a frustrating night for the Miners.
I don't think it's
as
going
the
to matter
three
much.
goes up by Crisp, and that one's no good. And miraculously, in front of a big crowd here at the Saberdome, the home side come away with the victory, 89-84, led by big Torhey Smith-Milner's 22 points and 13 rebounds.
Big.
We saw he dropped his head a little bit there at a point in the fourth quarter after the Miners took the lead.
Yeah.
The Miners took the lead, and then he realized, hold on a second, I'm in charge of this team. This is my team at the moment.
Yep.
Lifted the energy back up and dragged the Sabres back to a massive victory.
That's huge. That's a big, big win for them. They'll be so wrapped with that. Just quietly, they'll be wrapped with that. They won't go over the top about it, nor should they. It's just a hard-fought win. They came out fast. They came out strong. They got a really big early lead. Well led. I mean, credit to the coach, Coach Carter. He'd be really happy with that. Reece Carter and his assistant coaches in Andrew Lim and Nathan Croswell. They've really prepared them well for that backhand, because I know for a fact that this week has been a big week for the Sandringham Sabres.
It's been a tough week with COVID protocols and illnesses and
NBL commitments
injuries
and travel and all that sort of stuff. I know there was a little bit of panic there, but they've been able to work through it, and it's adversity like that, a win under pressure like that, it's worth nearly 3 or 4 wins, a big W like that. So they'll go into the change rooms now, talk about it, come out at training, they'll put a big week on the track. They'll get some really good players back for their next matchup. I'm not sure who that's up against, but they'll be chock full of confidence going into that one. If they can start like that, bottle what they brought at the start of that game, my word, really good team.
And they're not gonna go over the top, and because it is just one win. But for these youngsters, I really hope that they take a second and realize just how big and just how important this win is. You see the massive inputs by these youngsters. We've seen Gabs do it before. Campbell Blogg, though, 15 points. Tom Coppins, 10 points as well. And Cooper Gunawadna, 11 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, and did a really good job of leading this team in something that he'd never done before, when you saw him get a bit nervous at times last night and again at times today. But a fantastic job by this young Sabres side. Well, that is all from us here at the Saberdome. What an unbelievable doubleheader of NBL 1 South action brought to you by Coles Express that we have seen tonight. Miraculously, the Southern Sabres men, undermanned but not underpowered, they come away with a 5-point advantage, 89-84 from all of us here at the Saberdome. It is good afternoon.